Hi, everyone. So, I am here to give you a message for all the zodiac signs for the next 7 days whenever you see this. So, let's go down the line. Oh, side note, I don't put timestamps. I think we all have effects of some kind of astrology. If you guys don't know your birth chart, that's probably why you don't know how all these might affect you. So I recommend you checking that out and seeing what houses each one of the signs are in and which ones you want to kind of work on so that you can move forward. So that being said, Aries, what do we have to? Oh, they told me Oracle first. And I want this specific Oracle. All right, Aries, what do we have to tell you? We're doing like the Oracle deck that has to do with like witchy stuff. So let's tell you what they want to tell you. Aries, Aries, Aries. That one. Did you see how it flipped and then it fell back in the cards? Okay, it says candle dressings. Sharp as nails, engrave you my will, intentions spoken, declare what will be. That is interesting because we have actually, I saw a mirror here, though it's a painting. And then somebody is preparing candle work. So I feel like um, there is something you would like to reflect in your life, and they're telling you to take a moment to actually work on manifesting it. And if you're really witchy or you're into spiritual stuff like this, I would recommend doing some kind of candle magic. And if you're not, it can be something. Every single religion out there has some kind of, I want to say, procedure that uses candles. Like in Catholic Church, because I'm going to speak of what I know, there's always an altar space where there is a whole mess of candles that you can go and light one candle for a petition for prayers for people. That can also be the situation. So I'm seeing mirrors and I'm seeing candles and a need to um, put forth an intention as to what it is that you want. Okay, so tell me more about this. They just told me the same ones this time, so I'm going to be using the same cards for all the zodiac signs. Queen of Action, I heard. Queen of Wands, Queen of Action. They want you to take action on something. It seems like, sorry, that choked me up. It seems like something's brewing in the background, like um, people are getting together. We have the Three of Cups. People are getting together and they're like, I want to say conspiring against you. It feels like at least 3 to 4 people. There's something brewing. And I feel like you're getting, well, you're, if this message is for you, you've already gotten like intuitive hits that this is happening and there is a need for you to take action. And that talks like talking to your ancestors to make it happen. Yep. This is the night of coins, and that means that you have to start laying the groundwork to be able to protect yourself and to, I want to say, fight back from whatever is coming. And it seems like from some gossip, people are actually talking, and this talk that they're having, it's a negative energy towards you, and it's going to negatively impact you. So I would recommend you doing something about it to protect yourself for what is coming. And whoever I'm talking to knows that this is coming. So that being said, let's go to number 2, Taurus. What do we have to tell my Tauruses? Oops, this one first. We have antlers. Allow the magic of who you are to be seen by the eyes you keep. You are enough, my dear. Take ease in receiving. So I feel like, first of all, you're going to be receiving maybe a gift or receiving attention or receiving love this week. because it's for 7 days, right? I would say you deserve it, accept it. I think one of the biggest problems that we have as humans is that we have problems with people showing us love and affection, especially if you are a giver. If you give, you kind of feel bad receiving. But that receiving is part of the gift for you to continue giving. Every single time we receive some love, affection, some positive reinforcement, etc., we're actually filling our cup, and we give from our surplus. So if our cup is really full because our heart is big and open, you'll be able to give away more because you will have more to give. Okay, so my biggest takeaway from that card is you're going to be receiving something. It's a love thing. Like, you're amazing. Thank you so much for your help. I feel like you're such an amazing support for me, etc., etc. If that is coming up, then accept it, please, with grace and love, because it is to fill your cup so you can help others in the future. We have the Three of Wands, and I like this one because this is my taking steps to ascend. The second one is the Hangman in reverse. And the third one is the Page of Wands. See, this is what I'm saying. You're in this process of ascending and you're getting unstuck, and people around you, they present themselves as Page of Wands. So people that don't know as much or haven't gone through as much as you, that are still in the like beginning struggling stages, they want to take actions to give you thanks for the support you've given them, for the insight you're giving them, for the help you've given them going forward and stuff. And so I would say accept it, because that also helps them feel good about receiving from you, right? This has to be an equal reciprocity thing. If you're a giver and you don't receive nothing in return, the other person will not feel confident that they should take from you. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, because it has to be like an equal exchange between the energy of you two. So if you want to continue helping people, you have to be okay with receiving from people also. Okay. Third one, Gemini. You know you have to tell my Geminis. Peppermint. Okay, this might mean that you have to drink peppermint tea, or you can do some kind of ritual using peppermint. But right here it says, take from me what keeps me held back. Clearing myself from all of that does not belong to the vision of what I am to become. So, just a side note, as I started this reading, it only started when I started this reading. I'm seeing like an orb. And so I'm holding these cards and I'm kind of having to move the cards around to get past the orb I'm seeing. I don't have any problems with my eyes. It literally just started when I started doing this. I'm just acknowledging the presence that is here and would like to let it know that I see it so that it can let me see the cards. So the first thing that I have to say is we have this energy of the peppermint. So I do feel like there is this energy of block. The energy of block can be cleared out by drinking tea. If you were talking medicinal reasons, that actually calms down the burnings of your stomach. It cools you down and it allows for things to flow better. But if you were talking about magic, you could also use it as a means to purge out energies that are not for your greatest good or your divine purpose. So I would say I would recommend doing something with the herb of peppermint. Also, I heard that if you use mint like drink mint tea and stuff while you're talking to people, it actually allows people to accept more what you're saying. I don't know why that came to my mind. Four of Wands. Four of Wands for me is your house and the temple of your body. Okay. Ten of Swords. That's definitely, you have to do a purge. And the Nine of Coins. Yeah. So that is taking back control of your physical self. The temple of your body, your physical body. There's something in your body that is out of alignment with you. So if you take the tea, before taking the tea, if you tell it that you would like to purge out anything that might be holding you back, or anything that isn't flowing well with your body system, with the temple of your body, help it purge it out before you drink it and thank it for doing that. That would be good. There is a need to, there is something in your aura, in your field. If it's something that maybe you should take a bath with, they make those really cool organic soaps, and some of them have like peppermint or mint in them. Maybe it's something that you have to wash the outside of your body with that peppermint soap. But again, anytime you use any kind of herb, you should just tell it what it is that you want from it, right? But it does feel like you have something that is kind of lingering in your energetic field, and there's a need for cleanse. So peppermint would be great for you. Okay. Number 4, Cancer. Let's see what we got to tell my Cancers. Wow, we got 2 for Cancer. Really? Cancer, sometimes your readings are a little extra. Okay, so we have weather divination. I trust in what I feel, for what I feel are signs to pay mind to. Do you see how she's bending over backwards and it seems like her spirit is leaving her? And then there's a light spirit that's leaving her and a dark spirit that's leaving her while the birds are on top of her. That sounds like the same, like a need of a purge. And then we have the groundhog. Wake up, dear one, for the slumber you find comfort in. The truth, the truth is seeking those ready to acknowledge it. See, I saw this. I've already felt a little apprehensive with your energy because last week's was a little bit like harsh. Okay. I call conflict and this conflict and I want to say negativity more turbulence, internal turbulence. In this case, I feel like there's an internal storm brewing inside of you, Cancer. This internal storm is trying to show you something that you don't want to see, because the groundhog is talking about there was something dormant inside of you, something you avoided, a blind spot inside of you. And this combination is kind of telling me that the storm is not against the person, place, thing, or energy you're directing it towards. It's your blind spot, a hurt that you carry inside of yourself, and it's causing you to project a narcissistic tendencies towards people around you. And here it's saying it's time for you to stop ignoring the thing that is lying inside of you and like really go within in these feelings, because the problem is not external, it's internal. There's an internal war, like a storm. There's a lot of yin yang energy happening in this, because I see a lot of black and white in this reading for you. And so it feels like, this darkness is stirring things up so you can change them into a light. There's something brewing with my Cancers. This is the second week for that. Let me see about this a little bit more. I mean, there's a Cancer collective that is linking to these videos, that because it shifted, like the energy was really like one energy, and then all of a sudden it's shifting to another. So it tells me that there's a shift of the people that are watching these videos, and this person is dealing with a really deep-seated trauma they're ignoring, and they are projecting that pain towards an individual or a place or a situation. And the reality, it's you that you need to deal with, because it's something inside. The first thing we have is the 7 of Swords. It's a lying energy, and I feel like your shadow is lying to you. So there's this psychiatrist that I totally love. His name was Carl Jung, and he was really into the metaphysical and seeing things in a very alchemical way. He actually learned a lot about different alchemical processes, and so he entered a lot into the pagan mystical energy to understand more of the human psyche. And what I'm seeing here is he says something that says, um, either you learn to listen to your subconscious, either you grow from that subconscious mind, or it will always control you. You will always do things unknowing to you because that subconscious mind, that subconscious demon, or the subconscious wound is the one that is driving the car. You're not. And so the bad thing about the situation is that you'll feel like people are attacking you and the people are being aggressive towards you, but it's actually something inside of you that is projecting outwardly. We have the Fool card. Whoa, that one went fast. And we have the Devil. I mean, I wanted to see if the Fool card was a good thing or a bad thing, right? And in this case, it is, you're being fooled by the devil. Like, there's a trickster energy around you. That's the coyote spirit, and that's shamanism. The coyote spirit, when a shaman has the coyote spirit inside of them, the shaman is able to go down and descend into hell and try to trick your internal demons to let you go. So I feel like there's a trickster energy around you trying to show you something that you can't see for yourself. And then we have the energy of the Fool. And this is something that's been fooling you your entire life. And they want you out of that deep water so you can grasp for air. But right now, the energy of the devil, in other words, this wound has total control over you. And so I guess this week will be triggers. It's a trigger week for you guys. All right, so be mindful. I would do a lot of things that will help me return to my home, like my temple of my body, because you're going to feel a lot of turbulence. Next one, Leo, number 5. Oh, you know what? I grabbed these first, so I'm going to go for it. Ace of Swords. I like this Ace of Swords because you see all those knots in the background and then you see the sword. That is good because I think last week you guys had something funny about being tied up with something or something, somebody trying to make you fall into the same bullshit than before. Maybe that's the Spanish one. I don't know. Then we have the Death card. I mean, amazing combination right there. I like this combination. And then the third one, I love this combination. I don't like it. I love it. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles. Literally, this is that song. My name is no. My number is no. You need to let it go. You need to let it go. Somebody or something wanted to tie you up in their bullshit. And you're just like, my name is no. My number is no. You need to let it go. I am ending this. I can see you're ugly. I like this one because the Death card is a girl losing her fear because it looks like an evil monster up here and it ends up being just a man. So I feel like with this energy, it's freaking amazing. I'm just going to say, you're kind of like, you're all tied up in knots because you can't see the truth of a situation. Then you pull back the curtain and realize it's not even a big deal. And then you're like, deuces, I'm out, because the 5 of Pentacles is putting something out in the street because that's not what you wanted. And so I love this. This is a very good positive energy. I'm going to say, let me see the oracle. Looks, arts, and craft. Nothing exists without the essence of spirit. May it whisper or chant. May it be whisper or chant. Your energy is what brings life to all that you create. And what I'm feeling here is that actually the truth will come from whispers. So this feels like It might be a little gossip you receive from somebody, mind you, in the 3D. And that's the whispers there. But it can also be like intuitive hits, dreams, and like these nudges that tell you, something smells like shit, right? And then you do something about it. But I would strongly recommend you to continue to do a lot of your spiritual work because that's going to be positive for you. But this is awesome. This is an awesome week for you. All right, next, Virgo. What do we have to tell my Virgos? Okay, we have Angelica. Angelica root is a very multi-purposed herb. Mind you, you can use it for everything. You can use it for healing, purification. You can use it to create barriers. You can use it for hex breaking, all kinds of stuff. Okay, and so it says here, the bells have rung, chimes far and near. Underneath feathered wings, my dear, you have nothing to fear. Okay, so when I'm seeing this specifically, what I'm hearing is there's different ways that you can purify yourself. And I talked about how Angelica root is really good for purification. I would look into if you can use it for teas, or if you can use it in baths, or if you can use it in some kind of ritual that you do for cleansing. This seems like a very ritual week, let me tell you. And then what I'm also hearing is that another thing that you use for purification and to clear space are bells. So if you're thinking that there's like stagnant energy or something negative, I would use Angelica root and I would use bells to clear out the energy. Also, I'm seeing this energy of purification falling upon you and a protection for this week. So I'm not really sure why you're needing protection, but we'll see. Um, but it looks like protection and purification. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups, and this is listening to your intuition, but this is what I think is most interesting about this card. She's under the water and she has her cup, but she has her hand over the cup, kind of saying, I'm not mixing with these folks. Okay? Wheel of Fortune. King of Swords. Yeah, this is definitely, I'm not mixing with these folks. King of Swords for me is Archangel Michael, and that's the angel of protection. I do feel like this week would be good for you to call your angels to protect you and to guide you if you use angels or if you use whatever you use. Just make sure you call whatever it is that you call to for protection, because you do need a sword here. The King of Swords is the rules, judgment, police, that kind of energy. So I would say use that energy, use Angelica root for protection and for clearing. And then look at that, I just got a call. And then we have you not mixing with certain groups and certain people to protect your energy. I would say that's really good. Sometimes, I hear a lot of people saying, I'm going to connect to the collective or the collective this and collective that. I don't understand why you would want to connect to the collective. That shit is, it's covered in shit. I don't like to play with shit. I will delve into it to look from a distance and say, oh yeah, there's shit there and there. Peace. And then close the door, because collective energy is very dense, especially earth collective energy. Okay. So I'm saying you're being called, first, not to mix with certain people. Second, to create barriers. Third, to protect the good fortune that's supposed to be falling in your life, because you have that wheel of fortune. So it does feel like your good fortune is coming in. And so you don't want it to be mixed with everybody's shit. And then creating that protection so that nothing negative happens to you. So that's what I got to say about that. Libra. I'm gonna grab this one first again. Okay. The world backwards, upside down, sorry. Something's not over, I heard, Libra. The second thing, Two of Swords. It's kind of stuck. Actually, it feels like backed up poop. And the third thing, Four of Coins. Holy shit, is this backed up? You know, like this feels like a toilet that's completely backed up and you're plunging this bitch forever and nothing wants to go through. This is what this feels like. There's something stuck. A cycle that doesn't want to let you go, a cycle that doesn't want to release you, just like a really stagnant, dark cycle. Tell me about this. Self-ceremony. Create the vision you desire. Take action in the plans that lead to fulfillment. Okay, so this is you. You are stuck because you are not taking part of what it is that you know you want to do. So this feels like you're stuck in Idea Island and you don't get on the ship and sail in the direction that you have to sail. Sometimes there's failure to launch because we're fearful of failing, right? Probably you've been told a lot of your life that you're too dumb, that you're not, you can't do something, that things are too hard, that people like you do, etc., that kind of stuff. Or it can be a situation because there is that fear of failure. There can be also a situation where you fear the work that you're going to have to do to get where you're going to get. So you're stuck in planning stage. It's like, oh, but how is this going to affect my economy? How is this going to affect my work? How is this going to affect my kids? How is this going to affect my house? How is this going to affect this relationship? You know, like you're thinking about all the excuses of why it's not okay for you to start something. And that's why you're stuck in the same cycle. So the never ending story I'm seeing here is because of your apprehension with the Two of Swords to move forward and you desiring to stay in your comfort zone, Libra. I'm seeing you wanting to stay in your comfort zone. So this week you got to really tell yourself, do you really love this life? Because sometimes we're really uncomfortable in a situation, but we stay in it just because, you know, it's easier, right? Um, it's not comfortable. I don't have enough money, that I feel restricted with the schedule, blah, blah, blah. But at least I know that where my paycheck is going to come, how I have to do something every single day, etc., etc. It's the security that comes from the known. Okay. So that one is a you thing because you need to decide if you want to continue the life you have or you want something better. And nobody can force you to do something you're not ready to do. So next one is Scorpio. That was interesting. That one was interesting. No, they told me this one. Hold on. Scorpio. This Five of Swords in reverse. High Priestess. Eight of Cups. I actually like this energy because the Five of Swords in reverse is that you're no longer feeling defeated. You realize that what you experienced fucking sucked, but at least it showed you something. At least you grew from it. You're starting to learn through your intuition. You're starting to learn, and maybe books, like, you know, maybe memes, maybe books, maybe whatever. You're starting to gather information as to why it is that things had to play out the way they played out. And so you're no longer feeling like a wounded warrior. Now, I'm also seeing that energy helping you walk away from, I want to say, the lethargy, the sadness that you felt from having that experience. Okay. See, and then we have keening. And keening, I had to look up this word because I didn't know what it meant, but it's like one of those things where you just cry sick wise, like you cry and you have your like purging sadness moment to just heal your soul. And it says, hold on for just a moment in time, acknowledging before releasing and liberating what needs to be freed. And so I do feel that the Five of Swords in reverse, where you're no longer crying about a situation, right? Um, it comes after you grieve the loss of this. And I am going to be honest with you. I've actually been reading a lot of psychology books, of course, because I'm studying that. But I can tell you that if you don't do a ritual, some kind of ritual, it can be just writing a letter, of a breakup letter or a thank you letter or whatever to the individual that you're breaking up from with. You don't have to send it to them. You just burn it and send the ashes to the world, or a ritual bath or some kind of ritual, right? Um, Going to the river, soaking your feet and releasing your wounds, things like that. It doesn't matter. Um, if you don't do that, that energy stays lingered in your heart and it creates a stagnation. So I would recommend you doing and deciding some kind of ritual that you can do to release the pain. Okay. But there is an end here. Next, Sagittarius. Six of Wands. Victory. We saw that last week too. You were having a good week. Six of Swords. Moving into calmer waters, leaving turbulence. Chariot card. This is interesting how this looks. Look. I feel like as I'm looking at this, the old version of you and the new version of you are meeting. And this feels like divine feminine and inner child and your divine masculine on this other side with the chariot card meeting in the center. So this feels like the victory comes from a union between your divine feminine and masculine energy, where both of them are meeting at the middle of like a really turbulent time where you're healing something. This is pretty big. Then we have Amethyst, and I knew this was going to be big because the victory comes from the union of the divine masculine and the divine feminine and the inner child, right? I think it's ironic that the female and the child are in the boat together and they're going to calmer waters, because this means that there was a block in your sacral space and your solar plexus has been really active trying to heal the sacral space, and now they're coming to peace together, and that heals divine feminine but divine masculine energy. We have Amethyst. It says, go where your spirit dwells. I done told you. Where your sight is clear and your breath is liberated. And what I'm seeing here with this card is this purple energy, right? Where because of that divine union, and because of that clarity of that little child's wounds and etc., I'm seeing your vision becoming clearer, your intuition becoming stronger, your connection to source becoming stronger. So there's a possibility of receiving some kind of spiritual inheritance due to the connection. Then we have the Capricorn energy. And with the Capricorn energy, what do we have here? We have winter woodlands. Now, Capricorn energy last week was kind of like in this energy of, hey, maybe pump the brakes on something. Things you're shifting, you're coming out of an old cycle and you're moving into this one. And we have this one, winter wonderland. Woodland. And it says, take time to honor what you feel. Self-compassion is the healing balm you desire. So I am feeling this energy that you are still this week in the energy of healing. And what I mean by healing, it doesn't necessarily mean you have something bad that happened to you, even though some of us have, right? It's more along the lines of you're moving away from a person that you were, an era in your life. like a cycle. And when you're moving away from that and you're moving into the new version of you, you need to give yourself a little grace, honor the person that you were, honor the experiences that you had, give yourself loving compassion, because it is difficult to release a version of yourself. Okay? Look at that. 10 of Cups. You are definitely coming home to yourself. 3 of Coins in reverse. I do feel like that means that you're going to lose touch with some people that you used to connect to and some experiences that you used to have. 7 of Coins. And it's time for you to invest in something new. And see, that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like bittersweet energy since last week for you guys, Capricorn, where an era is ending and it's sad. And I mean, you know that it's the everything you did up to now was to be able to move into this new, oh, I'm getting cold chills, you guys. Everything you did was to get you to the point where you are right now and to be able to manifest what you know that you wanted. But getting there, it feels kind of funky, because it's sad. Certain people are leaving your life, certain situations, like things are really ending. This reminds me of my kids' school. So I have an elementary school that I have taken all 4 of my boys to, and it's in the end of block. Just I literally walk 4 houses down, boom, the school is there. It's freaking amazing. And like this is the last year for my 3rd son to go there, but my 4th son still was missing 1 more year of elementary school before he can leave, so he's not going to graduate from the school. Okay. But the school is going to close down. They're consolidating some schools. This is like a historical building, so it's like really old and it's going to take too much money to fix it and stuff like that. And so it's like closing down, and there's like this really sad, bittersweet energy from it, because like I have so many memories from there and my kids all went there and stuff. And also I'm also sad because I need to wake up earlier because they're about to probably have to take a bus and I don't want to do that. But that's kind of like what this feels like. Like you ended an era in your life. Oh, that's going to choke me up. You ended an era in your life, and now that you're going to move into this new era, things are going to be different and it might feel kind of funk. And you have to give yourself grace, because I feel like you're being pushed to go to the next step. Because everybody has to adulting. But at the same token, you're kind of sad to do so. And that's why you're probably dragging your feet and stuff, because you know that after you take this next step, it's like not going to be the same after that. Okay. Next thing is Aquarius. What do we have to tell Aquarius? Okay, this is cleaning out house, Aquarius. So we have sacred space. It says mundane to the eyes, not to my own. Thus, these sacred responsibilities are mine to embrace. And it's talking about how, do you see how she's cleaning? This is talking about that your home is a representation of yourself. And so there is a need for you to start purging things, clearing things out, purifying your home, getting things rid of shit that you don't use no more, things that don't fit you. There's a lot of stuff we store. I mean, I still don't understand how people actually have separate public storage. I mean, if you're going to have to take the things out of your house and put it somewhere else, you obviously don't touch that shit. How about getting rid of it? Right? Unless it's something where you're putting it in storage because you're moving houses, and then you're going to take all the things out of storage and you're going to move it into that house. That's not the same situation. I'm talking about people that literally have a separate storage of shit. Why? This is what it's saying. It's like, because if your home is a representation of yourself, it's telling me that you personally, your temple of your body, you have this, which is your home, that you represent to everybody else in the world, right? You show everybody, this is my house, this is who I am, okay? But you have this separate unit, which is what you have in your storage unit, you tell nobody about, and it has all your old shit that you haven't let go of. So that means you have a whole mess of internal old shit that you show nobody, you hide it, and you keep it away from yourself, but it's still there. So think about that. There must be a reason why you're not letting these things go, and they must be attached to some kind of memory or some kind of scenario that you need to process, release, and let go. That's Buddhism's energy of existentialism, where you don't have to hold on to something forever because everything is fluid, and that actually stagnates you. Look at how my phone just confirmed that to me. The first thing that flies out is the Emperor energy. And that's the energy of Aries. So the energy of Aries is connected to you. And this, in the energy of Aries that I saw here, is this energy of having to take action because there's people conspiring against you. And see, that can be your own old versions, right? If we were talking about this and you restoring stuff, like that storage unit that you have separate with all your other shit. I'm not saying everybody has storage units, but I'm giving you an example. With all your other shit, they have personalities. You're a different person when you're that person, the one of the storage unit, right? And so they have control and power over you. And it's a need for you to take action so they don't have power over you. Take it as it resonates. Those that have ears to hear will hear. And the Emperor card is kind of telling you, take ownership, take responsibility, and take action. Three of Swords, because this situation is clipping your wings. They're actually holding you back from this sadness that you're holding onto. And so, let's say they're good memories. I mean, it doesn't matter if they're good or bad memories. They're memories. And as long as we're holding on to them, we're not giving ourselves grace and opportunity to make things better. Like one of the things they talk about in psychology is the fact that when you hold a memory, we fill in the blanks. And if it's a positive memory, we make it amazing. So let's say it's a relationship you had that didn't work out. It probably wasn't as great as you remember it in your mind, right? But your retention of that memory, of that person, of that situation is actually holding you back from being able to be something better, or give the opportunity to somebody else to show you a different form of love or a different form of expression and a different form of growth. And so I'm feeling this energy of, oh, wait a second, you're holding yourself back from your future. Those good memories are holding yourself back. Yeah, this is when people have those memories too of peaking, like when they peak in high school and all they have is this romanticized version of how wonderful it was in high school. And their entire life feels blah because all they can think about is how wonderful it was in high school. That memory is holding them back from having a better expression for their future. This is kind of like what I'm feeling here. See? Four of Cups, your focus on the things that have been doesn't allow you to see what is to come. I mean, enough said. I've beat that horse enough, The next one is Pisces. Oh, Pisces, you got two. I thought it was one and two fell on the floor. Okay, so we have the Serpent. Slither through and out as you shed it in preparation for a new beginning. Now, look at the Serpent. Look how it's like shackles around her arms, and look how it's blinding her. Last week, your reading was a little bit harsh, and I think that it's because there's a need to release something. There's a hornet on her shoulder. That tells me that it might be something that is like a hive mindset, or like something you were taught that this is the way things are. There's an illusion that wants to be illuminated that you're not able to see. And it's because your eyes are being distorted by the shackles that are holding you back. And then the other one that we have is Winter Besom. And it says, I'm telling you, sweep away ill-intended while creating boundaries weaved with protection, a wish respects passage of safety. And this is what I'm saying. There is a need for you to I'm hearing that song from Eminem, cleaning out my closet. There's a need for you to clean out your closet. There is a need for you to first protect yourself, create boundaries for yourself. I feel like you're being called to at this moment to hermit yourself, like to separate from people, places, things, energies, and kind of go within, and then like come back to your equilibrium, before you can re-engage with people, so that you can purge mindsets, thoughts, and the influence of other people in your life. I do feel like the energy of hermiting in this energy. Mind you, when I started the reading, it started in Aquarius and now it's going to Pisces. I'm starting to feel like congested here and here. And that's strange. And it feels and like heaviness in my head and congestion, especially in your sinuses. And I wasn't feeling this before. That can be linked to um, a block in your third eye. And that means that you're seeing through the serpent's eyes. So, in other words, the things that shackle you, the lies you've told about yourself and to yourself about situations. I feel, and last time I told you guys, you got to be careful, and that you don't attack somebody right now, because it's really just you. Nobody is attacking you right now. There is no dark magic. It's you attacking yourself with the demons that you have called out, probably to attack another, or just to attack yourself. And so this is cleaning out your closet energy very strongly. King of Coins is here. I just heard materialistic. Tell me about that. Temperance card. Oh, I got two instead of one. Empress and Queen of Swords. Okay, so what I'm hearing here is that we need a less focus on your material reality, more focus on your internal balance. There are things that are materializing in your world right now, that are manifesting in your world right now, that are there so that you can change your mindset about something. Less the world and more your higher self. And this is all a process that you're going through, so you can enter into this energy of the Empress, and so that you can learn how to have discernment, how to protect, and also how to love and respect. Because the Queen of Swords, she's very cutthroat, but one of the things that are the original Queen of Swords is that she extends one hand, but she has the other hand available to cut somebody. So it's like, I am open to receive, but I am also mindful that the past experiences of different situations have shown me that certain red flags require an instant cut of the energy of my energy to the situation. So it's like having that balance. This is really interesting energy, because I do feel like you're going through some kind of purge. And so it is a difficult time when you're going through a purge. We went and said the sign of Sagittarius went through that purge for a very long time. It was literally 17 years of it. So good news is that you're not going through it. The one that's going through it is Aries, and Aries is going to be going through it for like 14 years or whatever. But you are going through a mini version of it for the next 2.5 years. So it is a difficult time. Okay. The people that will come in front of you will be a representation of your darkness. So it's so that you can heal and then create healthy boundaries to these darkness and saying, no, I don't want it no more. Okay. I hope this helps.